Hello everyone, welcome to the show. My name is Amanda Ostrander. I am a teacher-turned-homeschool mom, and this is Raising A to Z, a place where we talk about all things homeschooling. And today I'm going over our curriculum selections for grade 5 next year. So we are right in the middle of a full month of curriculum and planning out next year. So last week I did a video on what curriculum I'm going to be using with Zoe in grade 3. This week I'm doing what curriculum I'm using with Alexie in grade 5. And that's not the end. The week after that, we're going to do what topics and themes we've chosen for unit studies and novel studies next year. And then week 4 will be a full plan with me video. So we have a whole bunch of exciting curriculum next year things coming up, and you'll definitely want to make sure that you're subscribed to get the notifications when those videos come out, because I know they are some of my most popular videos of the year. But I'm very excited to talk about today what curriculum I'm using with Alexie. So first off, how is Alexie going to be in grade 5? How is she 10? This kid, man. Anyway, so we're going to be starting grade 5 with Alexie come September, and my kids are opposites. So while Zoe struggles with some things, Alexie never struggles with the same things that Zoe struggles with. And so my struggle with creating homeschool curriculum lists and subjects and topics for my kids is finding things that are going to do really well for one kid who's a little bit behind and one kid who is quite advanced. And Alexie is my advanced one. Currently, she's reading well above grade level, like a couple of grade levels above grade level, very easily. Like she's probably at a grade 7 reading level, 8 reading level consistently. So we do have to take that into consideration with her, which does make things a little bit trickier, because you're trying to find things that are age appropriate, but also that are going to, hit the sweet spot of challenging her. Because the problem that I've had this year is Alexie flies through whatever I put in front of her, and then Zoe is frustrated that she's there for so long, which, is not, I just want it to be a little bit more equal in terms of time. Because when Alexie does her, 3 or 5 worksheets between all of her subjects, she does them in 30 minutes because she's just flying through stuff, and Zoe's taking an hour. It's causing friction. My goal for Alexie this year is to find things that I can really give her that can challenge her, but also start to let her have some more independence when it comes to her learning, and kind of pushing that independent learning on your own, but also being a little bit challenged by it, because currently everything just seems too easy for her. And that's been a struggle. What are we going to do with Alexie in grade 5 this year? So we are going to do Brave Writer. It is working really, really well for our family. Alexie is learning a lot from it, even though sometimes the passages and the spelling are too easy for her. At the level that we're doing, which is the DART level, she is still picking up a lot of the things that she needs to know grammar wise that she doesn't have. So she reads words well, she understands what's happening well, but when it comes to her own writing, she doesn't have all of those grammar functions, or doesn't know how to use them. And that's why I'm okay with her being at a lower level in terms of the Brave Writer program, because she's picking up how to use an apostrophe properly, how to use a semicolon properly, how to use those things, which are kind of being discussed more in depth right now. So she's going to stick with us. We have 6 novel studies that we have picked out for next year. And I think it's going to also, my goal with her with Brave Writer is to actually get her to do some of the reading rather than it always be me who reads aloud. Starting next year, she's going to be helping with the read aloud section of the reading. So that is part of the plan for her in the language arts department. And the other thing that we're doing with Alexie, so this is something new for us. We have done chalkboard publishing daily language. I found that the chalkboard publishing actually was too easy for her. So we moved on to Nelson, which we loved. It was fantastic. They stopped printing it. So we are moving on to we are moving on to Spectrum, because we love doing the Brave Writer, but I also like giving them something that is like more of a drill type thing, like work on this, sit there, figure it out instead of just discussing it and playing around with it. I like to also give them like a little bit more structure. So I did get her Spectrum 6, which again, it's a grade above. But I do want to make sure she gets those like foundational grammar rules and things down. So we do have Spectrum, which is kind of the best option I could find. And I find a lot of these books very similar. They all have like similar elements. I did like this one because it does have a lot more writing sections in it. Like it's a lot more, not just grammar, but it is a lot more writing, which she's getting to the point where she needs to move out of just doing drills and into like using them. So that's what we're doing with this. The other thing we're doing, again from Spectrum, is the reading and reading comprehension. So we haven't done a ton of like sit down reading comprehension worksheets. This would be the first time she's ever done them, but I think it would be a good thing for her to work on. I also think it would be really good for her as something to slow her down a little bit, because like I said, she is so quick about what she's getting through that sometimes I feel she misses things. So I'm hoping that if we get into maybe doing some things that are a little bit more reading and then questions, that it'll get her slowing down and paying attention to things a little bit more. So that is what we're going to do. So I'm also hoping this will because I don't want to give kids busy work, but I do want them to be spending enough time on academics that it's benefiting them. And I also want it to be a little bit equal. Like, I don't mind if Alexie finishes 5-10 minutes before Zoe does. It's when she's finishing 35 or 45 minutes, an hour before Zoe, that we're getting problems. So something to slow her down, give her things to think about a little bit more in terms of her reading and writing. I think this will be a great addition to her Brave Writer and language arts curriculum. Math. We are in grade 5. Alexie is on grade 5. She is finishing, it's May. She will probably be done grade 4 in the next couple weeks. She's very close to being done. And then she'll start grade 5. So depending on how fast she goes through things, I do have grade 6 on standby. But we are going to be doing grade 5 math lessons for living education. She is a little bit of a math whiz, but she does like to go slower on her math. And so I don't mind keeping her at her current grade level, but also she probably is going to start this very soon. And because we homeschool over the summer, she probably might get a little bit into this and then she would be done a little earlier. And so then we'll just move on to grade 6, which I did purchase while it was on sale. So we're getting there. She loves math. I'm very happy with this. My only struggle at the moment is when she gets through grade 5, then she'll be on grade 6. And Master Books doesn't make the same product for grades 7 or 8. So grade 6 is the last one. So I'm going to have to start looking at what math curriculum I can do with her sooner rather than later. It's like a thing in the back of my head. But for now, we're doing the math lessons for living education, grade 5. And I did purchase the Practice Makes Perfect practice book to go with it because I do find it helpful. Yeah, so I do find that's what we're using. So that's what we're using for math for Alexie in grade 5. Science, we are going to again be doing it family style. We are using the good and the beautiful as well. Again, because I just find it so easy on me that I don't have to add a ton to it. I add some read alouds, maybe a project, but otherwise they're pretty complete units. And it has everything I'm looking for: games, activities, hands-on learning, experiments, videos, things to read. It's got everything in there so that I'm not having to build it all, because building things and doing things on my own for my own projects, I need some mental space. And I found that this year, the months where I was using the good and beautiful science units, that I was definitely more freed up to be creative in other adventures that I needed to be creative in. So it's been very helpful, and they're just solid units. So I did show the kids the list of units, and they kind of made some suggestions and choices, and we picked from there to kind of give us a variety of types of topics for the year. But if you're wanting to know what topics we're going to do, that'll be in next week's video. Moving on to social studies. So this would be history, geography, social studies, those types of topics. When I asked the kids what they wanted to do in terms of themes and units and what they wanted to cover in this kind of range of subjects, hands down the number one topic was, we want to do True North history units that you make, Mom, which was really sweet. That made me really excited. Alexie has been loving history. I don't think she was ready for the history when I started introducing it to her this year. We did do one True North history unit this year, and she was like, wow, I didn't know this. That's so exciting. Oh, I didn't know that. That's so cool. Huh. Never thought of that. Like, she was just like, it's starting to really click with her. And she was like, oh, I'm ready to do more history. So she's also read a couple of books this year that have been set in like different historical periods. And she's enjoyed like figuring out how those time periods worked and what society was like. So she's very interested in like history, which as a history major, history buff, makes me very excited and very happy. Not gonna lie. So we are gonna do some unit studies from my True North history, which I'm very excited about. And then we are gonna do ancient Greece. And like I talked about last week, I just think ancient Greece and so many of the stories and the thoughts and the themes that happened in ancient Greek stories and lore, we find elements of them all over the place, literary wise. And so I want them to kind of at least have some grasp on those stories. Obviously we're gonna keep them PG, but like having a grasp on like the themes and ideas and the characters so that they can use those and understand them when they encounter them in what they're reading, because it's starting to come up. Alexie's like, who is this person? And like, what's the Iliad? And like different things have come up, and she's just curious, like, and I'm like, yeah, we're getting to that point where we need to like just lay a little bit of foundation work. So yeah, that's what we're doing for social studies. So for art this year, I started kind of right at the end of this year, introducing some more structured art lessons. And I actually found and have seen it before and like finally broke down and bought it. We're using Blossom and Roots art. So this one is Exploring Math and Art, which is level 1. It is technically for like, if you were to use their program, it would be like grade 1, but it is definitely something you can do with older kids and let them put their own spin on it, their own strength, their own technique. And it has been a really nice addition to this year. I do it on Mondays right now as like a slowly ease us into the week kind of program. But we've been enjoying it and they've been enjoying it. We've been looking at different art pieces and doing more art than what we've ever done before. And it's nice to do kind of structured art. And I also love it because it's not crafts. Crafts are like when you're replicating the exact same thing, and we're not doing that. We're definitely looking at art pieces, finding inspiration, and then doing our own thing based off of like the guidelines that they're suggesting and the materials that they're suggesting. And so that has been a really nice addition, and Alexie's been really enjoying it. So we'll definitely continue to do that with Alexie. For French, Alexie is doing Duolingo. My husband has also been giving her some more reading selections that he finds because he's the French person. I can read French, not at the level that he can read French, but he has been finding stuff for her to read, some French magazines and stuff like that. So she's been doing more reading. She is currently on, I want to say, day 700 and something of a streak on Duolingo and loving it. Like, she loves her Duolingo. She does it every single day without fail. You don't have to tell her. She wakes up and it's the first thing she does when she gets up in the morning. So we are excited. She is going to continue. We have thought about maybe moving her out of the kids league and just seeing if maybe the adult league is like the adult Duolingo is a little bit more challenging for her, but we'll see it where we're standing and where she feels comfortable at soon enough. So yeah, we're going to keep doing the Duolingo. It's working. Her French is much better. She's reading in French now. We're definitely seeing great strides coming from a free program that she gets to use on her iPad. So it's working out for everybody. Lastly, we have independent studies. So I do independent studies with both my kids. kind of having things that I want them to work on individually, or at least not with me. So we do piano. Alexie is playing piano. She is really advancing much more quickly than Zoe, and she's actually very good. I'm always surprised at how quickly she picks up a piece and how quickly she can kind of practice it. And like the other day I was listening to her, she had turned the metronome on to like mark the music and to like give her the beat. And for a second, I actually thought that she had turned on like a piece the piano was playing, because she had it like so down. And I was like, oh, excellent. So she is finishing up the current book that she's working on. And then we are going to start moving her into something a little bit more difficult. We just have to figure out which book. My husband has to find the next piano book. But yeah, so she is going to continue on her piano lessons. She is also going to continue on her Girl Guide badges, which she has been loving. She's the only, up until this year when Zoe started Girl Guides, at the level that she's in. Zoe's done it for a couple of years, but like you have to be a Ember, which used to be called Brownies. You have to be at that level to start earning independent badges. And so up until this year, Alexie's the only girl in her troop who's earned any extra badges. And so now Zoe is earning some badges and she's excited about it. So they're both like gung-ho to keep earning more badges. And I love them. They're great projects. They come up with interesting things. They learn a lot. And so I'm happy to continue on the badge track with them. The other thing that I am going to introduce with Alexie though, is I think I'm going to give her a choice and have her pick maybe 1 or 2 Outschool classes this year. I am willing to try something different because again, I need to give her some new things, some challenges, and stuff that takes up a little bit more of her time when it comes to academics and learning. So I am definitely going to be looking at classes that are kind of self-paced, but I'm also going to let her kind of pick what topic she wants. So I have kind of flagged some classes at this point, things in like script writing, movie making, which are both things that she loves and does a lot, but I'd like to like see if, you know, hey, if you want to do this, let's look at it a little bit more. I did look at a creative writing and animation. So I have a couple that I have like favorited for her to look at and see what she wants to try. But I think she does need to try something new and to learn something new and try a different format of just learning in general. So we're going to try it. We're going to see how she likes it. And based on how things go, I will give you a review of Outschool next year after we've tried it for a little while. But we're going to try and see how it goes. So that's going to be her independent learning. And I think that's good for her to kind of learn and take some responsibility over her learning and, you know, what she wants to learn. So that's what we're doing. So yeah, that's grade 5. That's all the curriculum we're going to do with grade 5. I'm very excited to go over everything and to dive into it. Alexie's excited. Some of the books arrived and she saw me opening them in opening the boxes, and she was very excited and she tried to steal them. Like she tried to steal this one because she was like, oh, that looks fun. And I was like, oh, not this one, not the writing, the reading. She thought this looked really exciting and she tried to steal it. And I was like, no, let's get through what we have out right now. And then we can always talk about it coming up soon. So, but we're excited. Grade 5 is coming. And yeah, I can't believe that we're at grade 5, kid who's double digits age-wise. It's just, yeah, they're growing so fast. So you want to make sure that you're subscribed and you click the bell to get notifications so you know when we're doing our video for next week, when I talk about all the themes, units, and novel studies we're doing next year. That's always an exciting video. And then the week after, we are also going to go over and do a big plan with me video. And we got some big changes happening next year. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next week.